Is your mic on? I'm going to make sure you're on. Say something.
I thought he was going to say the man of La Mancha, you know. I'm going to open with a greeting in Hawaiian, and the purpose is to, if you brought in any garbage into the room, we want to take that back to zero. Yeah. Pua mai mai kapo iloko, akam lama lama, wao no kaha, ka male ola, wao no kapoho, ke ka ele mawaho a ino ke au pau, ka I ke kino ihu na me au pau, ka iau I ku pi o na nui nui, mawaho a ino kai au pau, ka ho o mau mau o mananao, a me na me au pau, wao no ka ho, a me ka ha, he huna kamakani, nahi nahi, ka hua huna, o kumalipo, o wao no ka I. I am the I. I come forth from the void into light. I am the breath that nurtures life. I am that emptiness, that hollowness beyond all consciousness, the I, the id, the all. I draw my bow of rainbows across the waters, the continuum of minds with matters. I am the incoming and the outgoing of breath, the invisible, untouchable breeze, the undefinable atom of creation. I am the I. I was in North Carolina doing a class, and somebody sent me or gave me there, if I can find it. Somebody sent me a cartoon, and I think it's important to share it with you, just to make sure we're getting clear as to what I'm talking about. So the cartoon is called Cornered, and it's in a bookstore. It could be in Borders or doesn't matter. So there's a sign that says self-help, and there's only one fellow under that. And then there's another sign that says fixing others. Yeah. So most of us spend most of our lives fixing others. And if you really pay attention, you will notice it never works. Now, if you're a physician, you think it works, it never works. For example, in this great country of ours, by the time a cardiologist is 60 years old, he has a higher incidence of heart problems than the general population. So some of you who, Joe said I could say anything, so I'm going to say it. So some of you who are, quote, healers, I'm going to talk to you today particularly, because it's important for you to know what's going on in you. So I'm going to pose 5 questions today. I'm going to kind of address myself to it, and maybe I won't, maybe it'll show up, who knows, yeah. So the first question I'm going to address myself to is a question that probably not too many people walking the earth can answer clearly. Clearly. And the question is, who am I? Who am I? As you know, the great philosopher Socrates says, know thyself. And most people have no idea who they are. And I suspect some of you don't either. So I'm going to go over this today or tomorrow, and Joe will give you some stories, and maybe some of you will have some stories. But who am I? And as Shakespeare said, to thine own self be true. But most of us are not. Moment by moment, we're somewhere else, and we're not ourselves. So it's going to be very important to at least kind of address ourselves to this. And then the other question I'm going to ask is, what is the problem? And most people have no idea what this is. And if you look at the health system today, it's going crazy, because nobody in the health system has answered the question, what is the problem. Yeah? So it's very important to work with that and be very clear, because if you're not clear, you're going to be like a rubber ball bouncing all over the place and causing problems for everybody else. Then the third question, I think, is very important, and it's the question of 100% responsibility, is the question of where is the problem? Where is the problem? And this question deals with being 100% responsible. And as I say, kind of every class that I've ever given for the 25 years, the point always comes up, have you ever noticed that every time there's a problem, you are always there? Yeah. I mean, you are always there. Always. There's no exception. So we're going to look at where is the problem, because if you're not clear where the problem is, then too bad for the rest of us. Because as you get clear as to who you are, what is the problem, where the problem is, the rest of us will be fine. Really. But as long as you can't answer any of this, the rest of us will be in hell, and you will be the creator now. Yeah? So it's very important. And then the question is, how can the problem be solved? How can the problem be solved? But how can we solve a problem when we don't even know what the problem is? How can we solve a problem when we don't even know where it is? Truly, we have no idea. So I'm going to deal with this, and it's this 3 and 4 deal with being 100% responsible. It's very, very, very important to be 100% responsible. And then the 5th question, which I've just thrown in since Japan. I came back from Japan, did a class there last weekend. The question is what is the purpose of existence?
Recent scientific studies have proven that one of the reasons you may not be attracting money now has nothing to do with what you're doing, has nothing to do with what you're thinking consciously, but has a lot to do with how your pineal gland is programmed. Now, the good news is there's a way to reprogram it. There's something new, and I have the special report right here. It's the Wealth Rhythm Code. The Wealth Rhythm Code is a sound frequency designed to target your pineal gland. And what it is doing is erasing the past programming and freeing you and even reprogramming you so you can now attract wealth. How this works is amazing because it only takes 7 minutes. There are generational curses, generational programming that has been activated in you. And a large part of what you're receiving and attracting and achieving has to do with not so much your conscious thinking or the law of attraction or any of the hocus pocus that is out there. It has to do with the scientific fact that your pineal gland has been programmed and you've inherited its limitations. So the good news is with the Wealth Rhythm Code, you can reprogram it. Let me read a couple things from the special report here. Most of the programs that are already out there only focus on feeling better. Feeling better is fantastic. Who doesn't want to feel better? But you want wealth. Don't you want to attract concrete results? Don't you want to pull into your life actual wealth that you can put in the bank, that you can count, that you can share, spend, invest, circulate? You want the real thing. So do I. That's why I'm so excited, because there's a body of work out there that says your genetics is programmed in such a way to cause you to get lack and limitation. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with your ancestors, and you can't really blame them. They lived in a different time. They lived in a different place. They downloaded limitations, and they passed them on to you. They passed them on to you. So no wonder you've struggled. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with how you've been programmed by generations past. What do you do about that? That's the good news. In the report I'm looking at, there's a book that's called The Body Keeps the Score. And in the book, the author says there's generational genetics. Generational genetics. That means you've inherited the genetics of other people, your relatives, your bloodline, going back through the beginning of time, more or less. And again, who cares if you can't do something about it? But the good news is you can do something about it. This recent discovery, it's the Wealth Rhythm Code. It's a breakthrough that activates your pineal gland so it generates wealth rhythm for you. There's studies that prove this. There's research that says this is happening. There are people that are making this work. And I'm going to tell you, there's also people upset about it. This has been funded by millionaires and billionaires, and they're getting upset because they didn't want this secret to get out. They wanted to hold it to their chest. I don't believe that's the way wealth should be shared. I think when we have wealth, when we have information, when we have gold, when we can make a difference, tell the world. Let's help each other. That's what I'm doing here. I want to help you. Now, we all know what struggle is like, and if you keep on doing what you've been doing, you probably got to keep on struggling like you've been struggling. Break free, break through, and break now. I encourage you to read every word here, and I encourage you just to jump ahead and invest. It's 7 minutes. 7 minutes to remove a generational curse so that you can experience the wealth and prosperity and abundance. It exists, but you haven't seen it because of the pineal gland and the programming that was there. Let's break free. I've broken free. I want you to break free. So please, in all sincerity, read every word here and then invest in yourself. This will make a difference in your life, your family's life, your community's life. And if there's causes you believe in on the planet, you can help them too, because you'll attract the wealth that you can redirect to where you think it will do the most good. But it all begins right now. Take a leap. Jump ahead. Have faith. And as I like to say, expect miracles.